Hey guys, it's me again. In this video, I'll be doing a cross-stitch tag. So I've got about 15 questions here that I'm going to answer, and hope you guys enjoy. So the first question is, how did I start, or who introduced me to cross-stitch? Well, you guys already know that my mom introduced me to cross-stitch when I was younger, a long time ago. But yeah, I discovered that I really liked it, and I've been stitching ever since. Next question is, do you have a favorite theme or designer? Not really. I've done a couple of Dimensions projects in the past, but I didn't really do a whole lot in the early years. Now, with the pattern makers and stuff like that, I mean, you can just find any picture on the internet or anything that you think is cool, and that's pretty much what I do. And as you guys also know, Anna converts a lot of patterns for me, so she sells patterns also in my Facebook group. So not really a specific designer. I pretty much find a picture on the internet that I like, and I'm like, hey Anna, can you convert this for me? And she does, and then that's pretty cool. What floss brand do you use? I've always used DMC. It's pretty much the most accessible in the stores, fairly cheap. The colors are great. It's pretty sturdy floss, so yeah. What is your fabric of choice? I usually use Aida, 18 count, 16 count. Usually for the Lord of the Rings, Middle Earth, I'm using Lugana. And I like both pieces. Both are pretty sturdy pieces of fabric. I haven't used anything else. I think I have a couple rolls of even weave, but I haven't worked on it yet. So yeah. Do you use a needle threader or are you a floss licker? I'm definitely a floss licker. I've seen the needle threaders in the store, and I'm kind of like, well, why would you buy this when you can just lick it and stick it in? But yeah, so I'm definitely a floss licker. What kind of stitching frame do you use? I use Q-snaps. Usually, I don't use any type of frame. I usually hold the fabric in my hand when I'm stitching. I just got to make sure I wash my hands. I usually wash my hands every time before I start stitching, so that kind of helps with the fabric not getting dirty. But for this Middle Earth project, I'm using Q-snaps, 8x8. How many projects have you finished? Probably around let's say 10 maybe. Most of those have been within the past I'd say 2 years, 2.5 years. I do have a couple that I finished in my early years. Those were gifts for other people, and some were even in my parents' house, displayed up on the wall. So yeah. Do you do more stitching for gifts or keep them for myself? Most of these I keep for myself. Like I said before, I did a handful for gifts. I did a Care Bears picture for a friend. I did I think it was a Dimensions. I did a Dimensions picture. I think it was a Thomas Kinkade painting, based off a Thomas Kinkade painting. It was called Forest Chapel. I did that one for an ex of mine. I think, what else? Yeah, I think that's it. Most of these I do for myself. What is your favorite project finish? I don't really have a favorite. All the projects that I do, I love them because that's really a big thing for me. It's a really big motivator for me. I have to actually love something I'm stitching because of the time it takes to do one of these. So I don't really have a favorite. I love all of them, but I guess if I had to choose, it would be probably, I don't know, probably like Daenerys or Aragorn and Arwen so far that I've done, and I've really enjoyed those two. What do I love about cross stitch and what do I hate about cross stitch? I really love that it's easy. I mean, it's very simple. I love that you can just pick it up and set it down, and at a moment's notice. I mean, it's not something that you have to be super into, and you have to be really concentrating on, unless you're in a big patch of confetti. I mean, it's something that you can just pick up and put back down at a moment's notice. There's not a whole lot involved. What do I hate about cross stitching? I don't really hate anything about it. Confetti can be frustrating. Knots are definitely frustrating. I hate knots. Yeah. Have you introduced anyone else to cross stitch? Just one person. I don't even know if she's kept up with it or not, but yeah, other than her, I haven't really introduced anybody to it. If you haven't guessed, the Army is more of a male-dominated institution, so not a lot of guys stopping by saying, "Hey, let me learn how to cross stitch." But yeah, it's not really happening. What was your first project, and did I finish it? I don't really remember my very first project. Yeah, I don't really remember what it was. Probably something small, but the first project I remember finishing was a Bible verse, a small Bible verse, and then after that I did a pattern with like a cross in it and with like a saying all the way down. I'll have to get a picture of that because that's actually one I did. That's hanging up in my parents' house right now, so maybe next time I'm there, I'll snap a quick picture of it for you guys. How do I store my floss? I store my floss in these little boxes here. I don't know if you can see that. Open it up. Keep all my floss in there. And I have them on these bobbins right here. And then for the numbers, they're stickers. I use these to put them on because the bobbins are plastic, so I use these stickers and they have all the DMC numbers on there, which is pretty cool. I don't have to actually write a mark or anything, I just put a sticker on there, and that takes care of it. So yeah, that was the last question. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I should have another video up here pretty soon, in a couple days. It's going to be Sunday, really fast. So I'll have another progress video on my Middle-earth. And that's about it. So I'll see you guys in a couple days.